With no Monica Gilbert, because you were the vice chair, you'll just kick off and run the meeting until y'all appoint a chair, vice chair, and secretary.
Okay. All right. Call to order. Roll call from my right.
I'm guessing it's not charged.
Laura Young.
Frank Vaughn.
Gilbert Shelton. We have a quorum. Just barely, right?
Yeah,
Fine.
3, yeah.
Move to new business. Item 3A, consider and take action to approve the September 8th, 2025 meeting minutes. They were attached.
Janet, how do we approve the meeting minutes? I don't think Frank was at the September meeting. Gilbert would have been the only one there. And Foster, which isn't enough to approve them.
Okay.
I'm just asking.
Technically, you could approve them, you don't have to.
You have to have been there to approve them, because it's a recount of the conversation that happened at the
I
meeting.
didn't watch the meeting.
Yeah, I don't know that it's the end of the world, but
I've never not approved minutes, so I don't know.
yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you want to just bring it to the next meeting?
yeah, we'll bring him to the next meeting when Forrest is there, and maybe get 2 people that were there, so. Or if you want to watch the meeting, you can do that, and so,
All right, that moves us to item 3B, park board orientation.
yes.
I'm guessing is a
Yeah,
slideshow
I would
behind
turn
us?
around because it is behind you, sorry. It's just easier that way. Janet has to go click because the clicker isn't clicking. It's probably dead. We need to charge it. Janet. So this is quick. Gilbert's seen this last year. This is something we started doing last year with all of our boards. Brittany will also do it tonight with planning and zoning. Charles will do it with our economic development. It's just kind of a quick run through. One of the things when I came on board was a lot of our boards and commissions didn't really know what the deal was, right? What are we supposed to be doing? What does this look like? What are attendance requirements and ethics policies and all that good stuff? So simply enough, the Parks and Rec Board operates under the authority of City Council and the charter. As outlined in Section 802 of the charter, the City Council has the discretion to establish a Parks and Rec Board, and that should be 6 qualified voters of the city. We currently have 5 members, so we have 1 vacancy that we're trying to get applications. So if you know anybody, you can bring them and ask them to go online and fill out an application. And basically you serve in an advisory capacity to the City Council, providing recommendations on matters related to planning, development, and Parks and Rec facilities. I serve as your liaison, so most of that communication comes through me and through y'all's annual report, which we'll talk a little bit about tonight. Next slide, Janet. Charter section 9 actually establishes the Parks and Rec Board and says again that they work in an advisory. This wording is exactly out. Janet will send you the slideshow when we're done. You can be appointed for no more than 3 consecutive 2-year terms or 6 consecutive years, and then you have to have a 1-year gap before you can be appointed to Parks Board again. Next one, Chapter 34. This is one we're actually working on. This will move to Chapter 40. Today it's in Chapter 34. This is something our Ordinance Review Committee has been working on. Kind of our boards and commission duties and powers is located in the same area as other ordinances about that same thing. So we are, when they formed this board, they did Chapter 34. We're in the process of moving this to Chapter 40, but it really is in line with Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 332-001, and it is to serve in an advisory capacity to council in the acquisition, development, improvement, equipment, and maintenance of all parks, public playgrounds, athletic fields, community center, a senior citizen center, other rec facilities, to recommend to council programs, policies, and ordinances, to seek to promote close cooperation between the city and the citizens, and to coordinate with the city manager or her designee, administrative or personal nature, a plan of development of any new parks or playgrounds, and any budgetary requests. This board does have an annual budget of $10,000 that you all decide how you spend. As a group, you make a recommendation. If we decided to spend all $10,000 plus some of the park special fund, the board has about $9,000, I think, or so. I'll confirm that. Mickey's out. set aside in the park special fund that they kind of set aside to start working on pickleball, resurfacing of the pickleball courts. If we made a big purchase, I would take that to council. Most of the little stuff you have $10,000, unless I think there's going to be any question on council, we don't always take that forward to them. Disc golf signs, some little stuff like that, we didn't take to them. 3405 is the specific area that talks about duties and responsibilities, rules, recommendations. You'll provide those recommendations to the city manager on ordinances governing public playgrounds, athletic fields, rec centers, and then I take those to council. You may solicit or receive gifts or requests of money, so we do have a park special fund where if somebody makes a donation to the park, whether it just comes through you guys or not, those donations then go directly into our park special fund, and Mickey can, as the treasurer, can earmark those. So 2024, I think we took about 5,000 of the specific money that was given in the annual budget and earmarked it and moved it to the park special fund. I wasn't aware that y'all's money didn't roll over, and in fairness to the board, because we didn't spend it all, last year we spent most of it. We're down to just some nickels and dimes. So you do have to prepare, submit, and review on an annual basis 5-year capital improvements, if there are any of those. Coordinate recreational activities. It's hard for the board to do that. Some of you know we've made some change in that, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. Submit on October 1st of each year a progress report to City Council. I know that's on the agenda tonight to talk about. Hold public hearings or submit reports on any topics pertaining to recreational or leisure programs that council deems appropriate, and forward recommendations to me on the Parks and Rec budget. Required trainings. So there is Texas Public Information Act. Janet will send you the links to do these things. Public information includes any information that is collected, assembled, or maintained for the government entity, regardless of the format. So if you take notes on a piece of paper in here, you have to hang on to those. If you communicate via text message or email among yourselves or with us, you have to hang on to those because those become open records. So if somebody called in and said, I'll use Laura's, I saw Laura taking notes, I want to see what her notes said. Well, we would have to call Laura and say, hey, can you bring by that piece of paper so that we can scan it in and give it to whoever. So the Texas Open Meetings Act, every regular, special, or called meeting of a governing body, and y'all are a advisory to the governing body, so it applies to you as well. That's why even if it's loud in the hall, you'll see me say don't shut the door, right? Because we have to give the impression that this meeting is open to the public for anybody to come, and if they walk in and see a closed door, there's kind of this mindset that, hey, they don't want us there. Robert's Rules of Orders, that's what we follow in the managing of our meetings. You will see a couple of different kinds of actions on your agenda. Tonight, we have consider and take action. The consider is the discussion part. For this board, you really don't need read a motion, make a motion, make a second, take a vote. We kind of just discuss it. I tend to have some information for you, but it really is for this board to discuss, and then the chair will say, can we take a vote? Sometimes it just says discuss whatever, and that is not a motion item. It's just to talk about whatever's going on. And then special notes, remember that 3 members of this board is a quorum, and you want to be real careful about walking quorum. If Janet or I send you an email, we're always going to blind carbon copy the board. So if you get an email that says, hey, park board members, you'll know that everybody got it, because it'll just be mine or Janet's name and maybe one of us copied on it. But when you guys send emails, you have to be very, very careful about creating a walking quorum. Laura sends Gilbert a question and he responds, but then has that same conversation to Frank, and it is an item on our agenda or a park board business. It can create a walking quorum. Or let's say Foster isn't here, so now the 2 of you have talked about it. You loop Foster in, now I have 3 people having a conversation. This doesn't mean y'all can't all be in the same place talking about whatever. right? You may all be at Toys for Tots. You may all be at a Rotary meeting. Just don't talk about city business when you're there. That was kind of a big question for a long, now we're all at church together. What happens? Well, it's fine. And you can all be at church together having a conversation. You just don't want others who are watching that conversation to happen to say, oh, now they're talking about city business, right? So that's just a really good rule of thumb. Next slide, Janet. Board appointments. We talked a little bit about this. We meet here. We meet on the second Monday of the month. I get them all confused. We meet on the second Monday of the month at 4 o'clock. Yesterday was the second Monday. It was a holiday, so we bumped it to Tuesday because next Monday they will be the very first day of voting. So sometimes we have to move those. We don't move them unless we have to. We also could have a special meeting when the Parks Board put on Dark at the Park. We had a few special meetings. So instead of only meeting once a month, we met twice a month and then had some subcommittee meetings as well. But we do meet here. And just a side note, any board member can be removed from the board at any time at the wish of council and by council action. If you miss 3 meetings in a row, you are removed from it. So if you plan vacations, it's okay to miss meetings. Just try not to miss 3 in a row. If you miss 2 because you're out of town and you get sick, just let us know what's going on. It's considered kind of abandonment if you just stop showing up. So Janet and I are easy to get in touch with. We both answer emails and phone calls at work pretty frequently, so anything you need. Next one, Janet. Ethics policy, this is resolution 2023-002. There are about 14 items on this list. Some of the highlights are being dedicated to the concepts of effective and democratic local government, remembering that we serve the best interests of the people of Gun Barrel all the time. It asks that you endeavor to make policy decisions based on factual information. There are always a lot of rumors that go around. Anytime you have a big project coming up, there are a ton of rumors that circulate. So we try to make decisions based on facts. Avoid participating in matters that create an appearance of conflict of interest or unethical conduct. Refrain from activities which may undermine the public's confidence in its representatives. An official shall not leverage his or her position for personal gain or benefits, and keep matters of a confidential nature confidential. We don't have a lot of confidential stuff. I call this the fun board. It's why we meet here instead of at the dais. If this board ever wants to change that, we can absolutely change that. This just fostered better conversation. So we do record the meeting. It's not shot live. We do record the meeting. Tomorrow, Janet will come in and Brooke will come in. It'll actually be Monday. Normally the day after, Brooke takes the recording and puts it online so that anybody that wants to listen to the meetings can listen to the meetings. There are 14 items in total. Janet will also send you a copy of that. How does the board work with council? You have a liaison. I'm your liaison. So anytime we need to take something to council, I make that happen. You might also have council call and say, hey, have you thought about this or have you thought about that? We have some cool projects coming up that I think we will talk about as we talk about goals and such. But just city council, parks board, y'all are an advisory nature. City council, currently Brian Kroll is our mayor. Brian is here with us tonight. Most of you know him. April Burns, place 1. She's our mayor pro tem. Rita Evans, place 2. Jennifer Jacobs, place 3. We currently have a vacancy in place 4, and then Robert Edwards in place 5. Each year, by ordinance, this board has to nominate a chair, a vice chair, and a secretary. The chair is responsible for running the meetings. The vice chair steps in if for some reason the chair is unavailable, and then the secretary keeps the minutes of the meeting, and those are due back to the city 10 days after the meeting. Janet records the meeting and will drop it to a thumb drive and make sure the secretary has a copy. She also gives you a Word copy of the minutes. It is not intended to be a transcription of the meeting. It is the highlights of the conversation and any action taken. And she can kind of show you that. She sits down and kind of helps you do it, so it's not quite so intimidating. These are one-year appointments that go from October 25 to September 2026. And we also have subcommittees that this board established that we're going to talk about. As for Parks and Rec staff, Mike Howell is our street department head, and he is also over parks. David Morrow is our parks groundskeeper. David Morrow is retiring in December, but until then, he is our parks groundskeeper. Most of you know Brooke Atkinson Harrell. She is our community engagement coordinator, so she has taken on all of the marketing for the city and all of the special events and the community center. So she's really wrangling all of those things together and is a good resource. And y'all, most of you know me, the city manager. If you are ever out at the park and you see something broken, you see something that's messed up, you have questions, just shoot me an email or call. Don't wait till a meeting to come tell me. It's really easy. We can typically have things fixed very, very quickly. I'm not out there every single day, all day. The parks guys, there are 2 full-time and 2 part-time, and they are running nonstop. And so if you see something, trash overflowing, it's out of bags, don't wait till the next meeting to tell me. Just shoot me an email or call Lauren and just say, hey, this is what's going on. And we'll get somebody to take care of it. Our park is now highly used. We have a lot that goes on out there. And so we're lucky. It's really gotten activated over the last year with softball and baseball practices. We have some that are paid. We have some that just show up and practice. But if you ever have questions about any of that, I'm happy to answer those questions. Because sometimes when you talk to someone at the park, they don't necessarily have all the details. So what is your role on the board? Volunteer leaders, you guys serve as an advisory nature to city council. So you make recommendations to council. Council is responsible for the direction of the organization, and then staff is responsible for the administration. So council sets policy, you all advise council on that policy, and then staff takes that policy and runs with it and makes the day-to-day happen. So the council governs and staff manages. How to get something on the agenda? Once you guys appoint a chair, reach out to your chair is a great way to do it. You can also email Janet or I. Or both of us, and we will talk to the chair or add it to the list. Janet kind of keeps running agendas, so we've always got an active agenda up that we just pop something on, and then we talk about why it's there or how to do it. Don't be a lone wolf. I've used this example most of my career, but I had a Parks Board member who joined Parks Board because one specific project. She wanted lights in Springfield Park. That was her sole mission, and that's why she joined Parks Board. But she never really could make that happen. One, Springfield was a flood zone, and it flooded frequently because it abutted Rowlett Creek, and you can't really put lights. So there were some limitations. But every meeting, she would want that added to the agenda, and it got to the point where she was kind of a lone wolf, that was the only thing she wanted. She got frustrated, and she left. Don't get yourself frustrated. Come talk to me. If you have something, let's figure out if it can happen or not, and then we can figure out how to make it happen. Ask questions. There is no way for y'all to know everything that goes on. I don't always even know everything that goes on. I may say I have no idea, but I'll find out. That is a common response you get from me. There's a lot of stuff I do know because parks is hands down my first love. I did that for 20 years of my 25 years doing this. So I love the park. I love the programming at the park. I'm super excited about the community center and everything that we have plans to do down there. But if you don't know, ask. I'm happy to get an answer if I don't know. Being an engaged leader, just some tips and tricks. Janet will send out emails. You are all in a group. And so when she sends them out, they go to everybody on the board. Like I said, they will come. You will be blind carbon copied. So you're not going to see your name up there. It'll just be blank and say from either Janet or I. We have groups set up, so we blind carbon copy you. That way there's no chance you will hit reply all and reply to everybody. So you just make sure that you reply to Janet. Review your meeting materials in advance and ask questions. Always, if you get the agenda and you're like, I don't know what this is, you can call me or shoot me an email, and I'm happy to kind of walk us through it. Attend board meetings and events and activities. This group is extremely engaged in events and Just as an example, at July 4th, they ran the children's area. And so a lot of volunteer time and hanging out and really getting to hear from probably one thing that was maybe one of Monica's best experiences is we have a big Valentine's Day concert here. The kids from Lakeview get to come over, they do a concert, and then they get to learn how city government works. And Monica got to come over and hang out with them as the park board member with her and Brooke and really get to hear what do the kids want. And then we get to figure out how to add that to it. And then review action items in your meetings, read your minutes. If we miss something, we are 100. Janet and I are both 100% human, and we make mistakes all the time. If we miss something, just call and say, hey, this wasn't in there. Can you fix it? You don't have to wait till the meeting. We're happy to listen back to the meeting if we don't remember that. But we both answer emails very quickly. And so you're never, if you don't get a response from us, it is probably that I didn't get your email, not that I just flat missed it, because we both have a habit of if an email comes in, we answer it right away to tick that off the to-do list. So we're both very good at responding to emails. And last thing, good governance. You can look at the Gun Barrel City Comprehensive Plan. It is online. If you go to the search bar and type in comprehensive plan, it is a giant PDF document, so it takes a little while for it to come up. But it has some information about parks, the charter, section 8, boards and commissions, and then code of ordinances, chapter 34. And then my advice is have fun. The whole purpose of Parks and Recreation is for you to have fun and for you to help other people have fun. So I'm always here if you have questions and if I can help in any way. That's done. There you go. Any questions? Linda just made it in. Janet, if you want to swear her in real
For
quick.
some reason, I had it on my phone for 4:30.
It's okay.
Okay, that's the last time I'm do that. Listen to my phone.
It won't take Janet but a second to get her sworn in.
Hit the button all if you guys want to.
You can wait till she comes back, or you can start the process, whatever you want to do.
I guess we can start.
Okay.
This would be a great chance for us to nominate her for something.
All right.
Quick enough.
Maybe chairperson.
All right, that moves us to item 3C, which is consider and take action to elect a chairperson. I think on the next three items, we're kind of opening up to nominations or volunteers.
Yep.
Right? And on this particular one, I want to make a nomination because I want to nominate Laura. I want to throw one of the new people under the bus, if possible.
I'd be happy to do it. That's,
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Congratulations.
thank you.
Do we need to
Or we're
do an
sorry.
official vote, or do we wanna-
You do have to do an official nomination and vote, so.
Oh,
Why don't we wait a minute though, since Linda's here, we'll wait for Linda to get back in. That went swimmingly.
nice job.
I'm impressed, man. She didn't even stutter. She's like, well, yeah. We try to make your positions as chair, vice chair, and secretary easy. Some boards, Janet serves as the secretary while we're waiting on Linda to come back in. It just is a lot with her being plan and zoning and city council and BOA. So it's easier for us if we have a secretary for this one, but she is there to help with anything you need, so. The good news for the vice chair is you really don't have to do anything unless your chair is out, but that does happen and you do have to be ready, so.
So to catch you up after your swearing in, we opened up item 3C, which is to take action and, should be to consider and take action to elect a chair. I nominated Laura said she was okay with that. Is there anything you want to add to that? Or
That's okay.
do a vote? Okay, then vote from my right.
I vote
Sure.
yes.
Yes.
Trustee.
Yes. Here's Gavin.
Bye. to do the next? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, y'all
Start
help
ready.
me out here.
Don't swing it.
All right, consider and take action to elect a vice chair.
I will say that's been my role. I'm perfectly happy to keep doing that role. I'm perfectly happy for somebody else to do it if they want it.
All right. Somebody.
Let's see if there's any
Okay.
other names or nominations, volunteers.
It's good. You did a good job.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we have to vote.
Yeah.
Gilbert just got out of that, didn't he?
So,
I vote from
okay.
your right or left.
Well,
You
Yeah,
can mix it
so
up.
whichever
from
you
my
prefer.
right, I'm Gilbert to be vice chair.
Frank, yes.
Tracy, yes.
Shelby, yes.
Young, yes. Consider and take action to elect a secretary.
Now, who's done this before? Has anybody here done this before?
No.
Secretary?
No, Linda missed my spill. It is relatively, Janet and I make it as easy as possible. You will get a thumb drive that has the recording on it if you want it. She will also print the agenda in Word so you can type right on it. Your notes are not ever intended to be a transcription of the meeting. They are the highlights of what was talked about and any action taken. So, like for that item, it might be the board discussed electing a vice chair. Gilbert offered to continue in that position. The vote was called. It was passed 4-0. That's kind of the highlights of what your minutes look like. So, because the recording is available online shortly after the meeting.
So I can get what I might have missed or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, I'm good. Don't be looking over there.
That's good.
Yeah, now you're laughing.
All right. Linda would like to be secretary, so we'll take a vote to my right.
Yes.
Shelby,
Okay,
yes.
awesome. All right, consider and take action to reestablish subcommittees and discuss FY 2026 goals. Okay.
So,
Tell us
Gilbert,
what
we
those
had 3 subcommittees.
Yes.
Help me.
Grants and fundraising, community outreach, events.
Events.
And we had kind of put some names next to it. For example, Frank and Foster were
Yeah.
on the grant type thing.
And you've
I
learned a
think-
lot, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd stay at the grants, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing that I'll say about it is I think the aim is to have 2 people on a subcommittee and certainly no more.
Right.
Because
Right.
that allows them to work together without having
Yeah.
the walking quorum,
Yeah.
which
3
helps us kind of move forward between meetings.
3 in this board is a quorum, so with a smaller subcommittee, you guys can meet here. I have a conference room. That table is almost always open in our lobby, so anytime you wanted to meet and go through something or look through something, you could do that.
And even as far as that goes, with newer people, we can reconsider what subcommittees we want for sure.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Someplace.
And Foster showed an interest at the last meeting, and he's not here tonight, but he's been on in for a little bit now. He showed an interest on staying on the grants and fundraising committee as well, so.
There's events.
So there's community outreach, and then events are the 2 remaining.
So what does community outreach mean?
I don't think we really got that part engaged.
Yeah,
So I think it can be whatever. I know in my head, it's, we've got certain groups that are continuous users of the park, like our pickleball folks or disc golf club that's there, there's things like that, so that, to be in touch with them, see how
Yeah.
things are going, I think the idea is to work with the community to generate how the park could better serve
Ideas,
them or whatever, and see whether there's anything that we.
I'd like
do
to be
on
on
that.
community outreach too, because I'm with the pickleball group, I do the Yale Good thing, stuff like that. But I think community outreach we ought to do, maybe do more of actually. find out what people really want to use the park for.
I'd like to be a part of that.
I was thinking.
Somebody to get our volunteers.
Yeah.
So that's Frank and Foster Grants and Fundraising, and Frank and Linda Community Outreach. And then the final one is events.
And that's me.
Yes.
I'd like to be on events because of what I'm looking at pursuing on that, at least at the moment, is that we, an annual event or an Arbor Day, we can do more for sure. But,
I'd like to do that with you, 'cause, you know, I
Perfect.
like to do that stuff, so.
Perfect.
That's excellent. So that's Laura and Gilbert, and that kind of spreads it out a little bit. If we get another member, so right now we have 4, if we end up with a 5th one, we can always divvy that out and do 2, 2, and 2, or however y'all want to do it, but that's awesome.
So is that complete?
Yeah, and then what we'll do each time is we'll just have, on each agenda going forward, we'll have a subcommittee report update. At our last meeting, we talked about this board setting goals. And we didn't really finish that, and enough of you are new at this one, and Frank wasn't there last time, that what I would like to do is at the next meeting, actually have an agenda item to set some goals for this group for the next year, right? You're at a minimum, you're all here for another year. So whether that is the one event, and start trying to put some meat to that so we know what to plan for. If we do Arbor Day, that's next November, we'll be working on that in between now and then. So if that's okay with everybody, just kind of a heads up. Because this board doesn't necessarily, P&Z takes a case, approves it, doesn't approve it, and rolls. BOA has a case presented to you, you review it, you get all the information, and you make a decision. This board is a little different than that, in that we talk about a lot of stuff to do with the Parks and Rec programming. So that way we could have some goals and kind of plan and think with our brain, thinking about that $10,000 budget once we get the budget approved, and how we're going to spend that money.
Okay. So that's
Sound like a
complete?
plan?
Okay, great. And then 3G is consider and take action to finalize the park board annual report for presentation to city council. So that's this, correct?
Yeah, what's in here, I threw together.
Uh-huh.
I did it by going back through our minutes
nice.
from all the meetings before, and tried to pick up what we accomplished, and tried to put a picture on each one of them, because everybody loves pictures, and it makes it look like you did more even. It's great.
So would you be willing to present it?
I am, but I don't, did everybody get a chance to look at it?
Yes, I
I mean,
did.
is there any,
Well, I'm new,
And- and
but
I-
I did look.
I know how to keep up.
what's that?
I know how to keep up.
But it's, you know, it was just to kind of,
Go for it. Tell them how.
well, yeah, so I kind of divvied it up into what I thought might be slides. Did you guys put those in slides last year?
We
Or
did, yes. Before city council, we actually put them on slides, and somebody just gets up, park board is all here, and somebody gets up and presents them. So, yes.
Okay.
We did put them on slides.
So, as I said, I kind of went back through the minutes, put up here, this is presented to the city council. I think we're on the agenda for the October
You will
meeting.
be, yes.
So we, if this looks okay, or however we edit it, we'd be okay to be on the agenda for that. I think technically we're supposed to do it by October 1st.
It's okay.
Discount.
It's just kind of worked out where it's been. Last year, it was I think last year was the first year we did it, and it was at the October meeting, so it's all good. We'll keep it we can do it in September next year if you want.
So this is to summarize the activities and major accomplishments. The first thing I've got on there is under park signage. We've got the 18 new T-signs for the disc golf course, which I think was a nice upgrade and something that
Yes.
we were in need of. We coordinated with the Lions Club Tri-County Library for a free lending library there at the playground. It's over at the playground next to the pavilion. And I've got a picture of that pretty red box, and I check on it every once in a while. I don't really know who checks on it for books. Every time I've looked, we got books. So.
Oh, good.
With the tennis courts, we've got the long-term goal of trying to refinish the surface, resurface it, and that sort of thing to make it nicer and get some pickleball courts in there. our major users are pickleballers, and kind of in the interim, what we were able to do is we've just got stripes in there so that there's now 4 pickleball courts, some temporary nets that they can pull out and use the 4. The 2 we had before are still there as well, so you can just use the 2 or you can use the 4. And we got some windscreen around it with some of our budget money towards the end of last year.
And the windscreen's awesome.
Oh,
It
good.
works. It really works.
Does it let air through too, or is it?
It
hotter
does, there's
than
enough that it still
80
swirls
something?
around. No,
Good,
it's just
okay,
not hot.
okay.
No, it still swirls around. Yeah.
Christmas parade, this time there was a float that was kind of for the boards and committees. We got the thing decorated and wrote on that and handed out a lot of candy. Holy cow. July Fest, we kind of developed the plan for the Kids Zone area and promoted it and ran it with the inflatables that was shown there. And that was a little bit of a fundraiser for us as well. I don't think we did participate in Halloween last year. I know I did, but I don't think.
You did it.
So-
You
so-
can absolutely this year. It's coming
I'm
up.
just saying, I
So,
didn't put it
yeah,
in here because I
yeah,
didn't think we did.
Yeah, no.
So, and in addition to that, at the end, kind of to spend out the budget that we've got, we made a few purchases. So, in addition to those activities, we also used the budget to put some shade screens around the dugout seating at the dog park where the sun hits in the morning. We are paying for the first year's contract for the period weather detection system, which is lightning and weather detection in the park to alert us to any systems moving in there if we need to evacuate or whatever the case may be. Did we get 1 or 2 benches?
I think you got to, because I noticed 2 benches.
Let me verify. I'll verify.
I threw 2 in there because I wanted to go high rather than.
Yeah, let me verify.
We also, as the ordinance review committee was working, we took a swipe at the park ordinances to give them inputs on that. And the sand volleyball courts as well, we kind of coordinated with the park department to get those reviewed for volleyball season. What I'm saying for next year is establishment of the 3 subcommittees we just talked about. Pursuing grant opportunities for park updates. We've said that the focus is going to be on walking trails. I don't know if we need to say that or not, but that
We should,
is kind of what we put out there. Fundraising, the idea we've had behind fundraising has been to go towards the resurfacing of the tennis court. We've talked about doing things like above the windscreen selling banners, sponsorship banners. So we kind of purposely left that top part open over that. Event support, repeat our participation, July Fest, Halloween, Christmas parade, and develop plans for an annual Arbor Day event. So those are the stuff that I threw in there. Is there anything, and I guess especially for next year's plans, because I think well, never mind. If there's anything you think I missed from last year, or anything that you think ought to be in next year's plans, or if you think it looks okay, then we can fix this up and hand it over for putting slides together.
I think it looks great. It really looks
Thank you
really
very
good.
much.
Yeah, the pictures are great.
So good.
Can also comment, Gilbert, that y'all are getting ready at the next meeting to really talk about goals. And then you'll have even more, like these are the ones we kind of talked about over the summer, but you'll settle up those and firm up those goals.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just we'll put a
Okay.
bullet point in there, goals to be finalized next meeting.
yeah. Or just mention it, whichever. So,
Okay. So to move forward, do you think I've already given y'all enough to build slides out of?
yes.
So
I can absolutely build a slideshow over this. The meeting is the 20, there you go, the 28th. The little bird has chirped from the corner, the 28th. So I would just plan on being here, it's at 6:30. You'll be up close to the top, we do presentations pretty early in the agenda, so yours will actually go first, and then we'll have the department presentations. So you don't have to stay for the whole meeting, but you will be here for that first, and we'll make sure you get introduced and all that good stuff.
So 6:30?
6:30.
Nice job. That's nice.
absolutely great.
Can I ask a question though,
Sure.
before we adjourn? Is that we do the yoga thing at the park, once a month there's yoga. There's a Tai Chi once a month, and there's no advertisement of that on the city page?
Yeah, they aren't city-sponsored events. They're just individuals that go out and do it.
Right.
That's one of the things that Brooke, once we get the community center open and we get her kind of centered down there, she's gonna reach out to each of those instructors.
Okay.
But those are just individuals that are using open park space. They're not city events.
Okay.
Or city programs, so, but that is on Brooke's radar
So
too.
we had 20 people for yoga Saturday, and we had
Yeah.
like 15 people for Tai Chi, so it's
Yeah,
pretty,
it's
there's
awesome.
a fair amount of people.
Yeah, if they send us that information, we're happy to put it out. But it has to come from them, so, from the instructor themselves, so.
Okay.
When I'd say, I think that's an opportunity for community outreach.
Yeah.
Folks that are kind of doing
Yeah,
that.
if they're doing
Yeah.
that,
I know the disc golf guys threw a big, competition, that's
Yeah.
not what you call it, but, you know, they did that. It's kind of like, well, you know, you're welcome to kind of come in
Yeah,
and do that.
yeah,
but
but if you
partnered
let us
with the
know,
city,
yeah.
You could help, you know, bring
Yeah.
some folks out.
can we get a
So I think
card or
those are
something
some
they can
opportunities.
contact? Is there,
Yeah, I don't have any in here, but I can grab you, we can grab you one from the front desk.
would they contact Brooke then?
Or contact me is
Or
fine, and
contact
I
you.
can connect them with
Okay.
Brooke. A couple of my cards, pretty please. They have some at the front desk, so.
I've been thinking about that
Yeah.
same thing.
Uh-huh.
It's one of the things that Brooke has kind of started talking about, is when y'all talk about your goals, is really getting us those contact information and start getting them to send us when they're doing it. When Shelley was on the board, Shelley was really good about getting us when they were gonna do yoga. So Brooke would always put it out, hey, they're doing it, it's free, she takes $1 donation. We have somebody that teaches Zumba out there, but sometimes I guess they think they're gonna get in trouble if they do it, and they're on park property, and what am I, but that's one of the things that we're really gonna start focusing on. That's how you get programs started, right? When you get that community center open. So we have one place where everything is hubbed out of, so it makes a lot
Right.
more sense to
And that
folks.
it's welcoming
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
community.
Yeah, so. That's it.
It's exciting.
When does the community center work open up? Or has it
November 10th.
November?
Yeah. Here's some of my cards if y'all want a card. It's got my email on it, but November 10th is when we're slated to be done. That's it.
Is that it?
Ready to adjourn.
Ready to adjourn.
Let's give those out.
Let's do it.
If you're bored, we do have P&Z at 5, where Brittany gets to do that same dance. Linda, you can have this if you want it, since you missed the orientation. You've seen it, you saw it at BOA. You'll get to see it again at BOA. But thanks for giving me fun.
EDC at 6.
Linda,
right?
can I get your email?
Huh?
Yeah, EDC at 6.
ABC at 6, yeah.
Okay.
One of the things that Janet will send you and have you fill out is an information form asking if, 1, do you want your information public or not? And 2, do you want your information shared with others? So that if you need an email, Janet can share that, so.
Okay, okay.
Very
Thanks so
good.
much.
Nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you. Look forward to working with you. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully we can do something good
I'm excited.
in the long run.
I'm
The park is-
excited.
The park is looking really good too.
Yeah.
Mowed, yeah. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you for contacting me about what I wanted to see.
Oh, yeah, of
I literally did the presentation for you.
course.
Yeah, I was
Way
like,
back when,
well, I think they're all.
born in the 50s
I made
and 60s,
sure
that's how I.
pretty much did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Park City, I mean, unless you want me to read it word for word.
I don't want you to read, you saw, I didn't read it word for word. There's a
Yeah.
lot of